President Obama has requested $4 trillion in his 2016 budget proposal submitted to Congress. To the dismay of critics, he would allocate $38 billion more to military operations than congressional spending limits allow. We go to Alexandra Hall for this report.
Defying spending caps set by Congress in 2011, known as the sequester, President Obama on Monday submitted a proposal on what he thinks the federal government should do with its money in 2016.
My budget will end sequestration and fully reverse the cuts to domestic priorities in 2016. And it will match the investments that were made domestically, dollar for dollar, with increases in our defense funding.
The proposal solicits $534 billion for the base defense budget and $51 billion in war funding, most of which would go towards Afghanistan, counterterrorism operations, and continue regular benefits for active military. Some say it's worth it.
If you're sacrificing your life, I feel like you deserve, the best.
If the amount is necessary to keep us safe, I think it's appropriate.
However, the proposed budget requests $38 billion more in military spending than is currently permitted by law.
Many Americans would agree with, spending a lot on the defense budget, but when you put it in context, they may not realize that some of those other things are getting crowded out.
Other things like education or healthcare. Unlike the war fund, which isn't subject to spending caps, discretionary spending on domestic initiatives is limited, period.
As defense spending grows, it crowds out domestic funding for other things, for things like Head Start, things like programs that regular people need. And the domestic doesn't necessarily have the very nice war funding account that they can sort of move things over into.
President Obama's proposal also calls for a boost of what his administration calls middle-class economics in the 21st century, public works projects outlined in the State of the Union that would require tax cuts, tax hikes, and likely won't get past Republicans in Congress without a fight. In Washington, Alexandra Hall, Telesur.